0 to 100K masterclass. So take this in because this is going to be your reality this year. I don't care where you're at in your business. I don't care if you've made a single penny in your business, because the opportunity that you have to take the information that I'm going to share you and implement it today and be at a 6-figure run rate for this year. So that's why you're here, to build a 6-figure business with like simple actions. That is going to be the theme for today, is like simple actions. If you guys are in my world, if you guys are in monetized social membership, if you guys have been my clients, you know, I always say basic actions, simple actions lead to daily transactions. I built my multi-6-figure business by simplicity. I didn't overcomplicate it. And you're going to see the simple actions that I took to get to my first 100K in my business. So what I really want to start with is the foundations of my business started with building community and connection through my personal brand with my audience. So if you guys have been, actually, let me know in the comments, how long have you been like following me for? Like, when did you find me? Let me know in the comments, because if you guys have been following me since like before I ever even had my coaching business, you know, for a very, very, very long time, all I did was post content on social media and build community and build connection with all of you, right? That's like how I really, really, really got started. So 4 years ago, and I made a post about this the other day, 4 years ago, I was renting free rooms at my public library, hosting free trainings for my audience. So some of you guys remember this, right? Because when I made this post, you're like, oh my gosh, I remember those days. This was like back in 2017, 2018, 2019. I lived in Iowa and I was still living at my dad's house. I lived in Iowa, I was living at my dad's house. I was graduating college, just graduated, and I wasn't making that much money. I was making maybe around like $500 a month, working for my mentor, doing odd jobs for other people, maybe sometimes working like part-time. So I remember committing to myself and telling myself, you know, fucking what? I have such a great story. I know I have a really good skill set. Back then, I knew I was really good at helping people build their confidence, really good at goal setting, really good at graphic design, really good at writing content and copy, really good at storytelling. Like all of those skills I had before I ever started to teach people how to monetize their brand and start to attract clients using social media. So I committed to myself, like, I'm going to build this business. You guys know I have never worked a 9-to-5 job ever in my life. So straight after graduation, I committed to myself saying, I'm going to fucking figure this out. And that started with realizing and bringing awareness to, I did not have a set or an office or somewhere where I could feel like I was a CEO to show up, create videos, and post on social media. Because I lived at my dad's house and the only place I had was like in my bedroom, and it wasn't like social media ready. So what I did was I would go to my public library, and I kid you not, almost every single day, I could rent out free rooms where it was like an office, like co-working type of space by myself, and I would host free trainings. And I did that every single like week sometimes, for me to build community, to build with my audience. So the first thing I want you guys to realize is whatever external thing that you might be blaming or telling yourself you can't do, you have resources. You can figure it out, right? So whether that is, I don't have good lighting, I don't have a good background, I don't have a whiteboard, like anything, I didn't have any of that, right? Like I went to go find a place that I could plug into every single day and host these trainings. Now, 4 years later, the thing is, I still host these free trainings, exactly like what I'm doing with you guys today, right? But now it's in my office. I do have a beautiful setup, and it got me to hitting milestones like $50,000 in my business. So how did all of this happen, right? Like how did it really happen? So what really, really, really helped me is sustainably build where I could reach my first $100,000 in my business, but not just like reach it, not just hit 10K once and then dip down to like $1,000, but to a point where I could hit 100K, maintain it, but also grow it, was what I call the power of one. Now, I want you guys to write this down and brain into your head. This is going to be your roadmap to making 6 figures and duplicating it and multiplying it. The power of one. Now, before we get into the power of one, I want to start to talk a little bit about like branding, personal branding, because a lot of you guys that are watching, I'm going to look in the comments here in a sec. A lot of you guys that are tuning in today, you guys are either a coach, consultant, you're selling digital products, you're a service provider. It's like you're basically the face of the brand. Now, if I were to sum up this entire masterclass in one word, it would be the power of brand. Like the power of one, the power of brand, right? Mainly because when you get on social media, when you start to build your audience, the real reason why people start to follow you, they start to like your stuff, they join your trainings, is because of who you are as an individual. So brand, how I really start to build my brand was I start to build my quote unquote business and audience around what I knew and what I was certain about. This one sentence might change the entire game for you. I built my business and my brand around what I knew and what I was certain about. So guess what? When I would record videos and post on social media, when I would host trainings, when I would sell offers, there was no imposter syndrome. I mean, maybe there was like a little bit in terms of just like initial fear, but like deep down, there was no fear, because I was teaching people and building a brand around something that I knew and I embodied. I was really certain about. Where are you maybe building your business or brand around something that you're not fully embodied in? I talk about this a lot because it's a topic that I'm really passionate about. And like I see a lot of people struggling to hit 10K a month in their business or 6 figures because they're trying to build their brand around something that they don't even embody at their core. And for some of you, I might be calling you out right now. Right. And this is a screenshot that I actually took. I was looking at my memories and I found this. This was, you can see the date right here, November 9th, 2016. Okay. This is one of my first courses that I put up on social media. And I believe it was a free course. Like I didn't even charge for it because I was really in the beginning. And it was called Confront to Conquer the Challenge. And if you guys know me, this has literally been me since day one, is acronyms with my master classes, with the courses, with everything. Okay. Confront to Conquer the Challenge. Now, this course was all about how to set and achieve goals in 30 days. Because what I had just done before that was I wrote and published my best-selling book in 30 days. So something that I knew I was really good at, something I knew that I was really certain on, was something that I already did. So right now, think about what are the things, and you might already have an offer, you might already have products, but what is like the thing that you embody every single day that you could just go on social media and talk about for hours because you don't even have to think about talking about it? It was simple, very simple for me to create this course because I had just embodied it. Okay. So that's the first thing I want you guys to realize with your brand. You are your brand. You're not creating it. You're not developing it. You're not taking hours to write it down on a piece of paper. You are your brand. You're literally a living, walking, breathing example of your work. And so many people sometimes like forget about this, right? It's like you are the person. And that is how like the real like magnetism kind of comes through, right? Like that is how when you watch videos, even sometimes when you watch me or somebody else, or even maybe your own stuff, you're like, oh my gosh, like there's something about that person. And this is what I call like the magnetism effect, right? Creating content through what you already know and being a true leader and role model to your audience, right? If you are doing something and you're like, ooh, that was like something new I did, that was a lesson I learned. That is what I did in the really beginning. I always expanded myself through experiences. Like if I would go to an event, I jump on a live and talk about it. If I did something different in my business or social media, I would tell my audience about it. If I did something straight for 7 days, I'd be like, ooh, this is working. I would tell my audience about it. So what happened was I got into this rhythm of let me lead my life in a way where I'm expanding myself. I am growing myself, but at the same time, I know there are other people who want to see my transformation and who also want to have this transformation for themselves. So what happened was I started to build my brand by doing all of these different things. Okay. Now, before I go into this, I just want to quickly look at the chat because I know I'm just like kind of like I'm flowing right now. I'm in such a flow, but I want you guys to start to think about, are you really incorporating your brand with your business? Or are you just really focused on building like the offer or just like selling the offer? Let me know in the comments what's really coming through for you right now. I'm wanting my coaching business to replace my business, income 500K a year, 60K a month. I've been following your Instagram for a while, but I really connected with you this last month and I'm hooked. I'm so happy. Ali, 6 months ago, I fell in love with you. For the first time I saw you, became obsessed with your energy and how you always help the community. I'm so happy. Sonia, how did you shut off all the noise around you? So I'm going to do questions at the end. So if you guys do have questions, Sonia, I'm going to get back to yours. We're going to do a Q&A at the end. So feel free to drop in the comments, but I'm going to get back to them towards the end so we can, because we have a lot to cover and we're already 20 minutes in. So with the brand, what I started to do was daily live streams. If you guys know, I documented every single day of my senior year by doing a daily Facebook Live for like 265 days straight. Every single day I went live, whether it's for 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And what I would do was I would talk to my audience. I would just talk. I'd be like, hey guys, this is what's happening today. I went to class and guess what? I just filed my LLC for my business. We are doing it and I am going to help so many people grow their Instagram accounts. That's literally what one of my live videos was about, because I was just starting my business. I got my LLC and I was so fucking excited. How can you start to incorporate more daily live streams with your business? I guarantee if you commit, you maybe not daily, you don't have to do daily, but like if you commit to even doing 1 live stream a week or 2 a week, I guarantee your followers would go up, the views on your stories would go up, inquiries would go up, and clients in your inbox would go up. Because almost every single one of you guys who are here live right now, you probably built this connection with me through video. Whether it was a live stream, whether it was stories, whether it was my Empire Creator live show I do on Mondays, it was built through video or like a pre-recorded training. So that's the first thing, daily live streams. The other thing was challenges. So this was something like unique that I did for my brand. Of course, you don't have to do this with yours, but I want to share what I really did in the beginning that developed this audience for me. I would challenge myself to do like random things, whether it was like a kindness challenge, challenging myself to work out twice a day, challenging myself to go talk to strangers, like challenging myself to do certain things. And what I would do was I would tell my audience that I was doing these things. And then I would challenge my audience to go do these things. And I would literally tag certain people who were, connecting with me, who knew me, who were pumping me up, who were getting inspired. And I would tag them in my post to go do that damn thing. So what happened was it kind of created like a chain effect, right? Like I would do the thing, someone else would do it, they would tag me, and then other people would see it, and they would start to do it. So I really start to create this like organic challenge where people start to do all different types of things, and they would tag me as they were doing it. Now, it wasn't structured like what we see now, like, like a 5-day challenge, structured, doing live trainings. Like I wasn't doing that. It was basically, I would do it through a post, share it, people would do it too. Sharing my goals and like desires. This is really, really big. Your audience follows you because yes, they want to learn from you, but also they're curious about you. Does your audience know that your goal is to make 6 figures this year? Does your audience know that your goal is to make 50K a month? Does your audience know that your goal is to make $500,000, to make 7 figures? Like, does your audience know? And I don't want you guys to approach this in a way, oh, if I tell my audience, then they're going to buy into my offers. No, that's not the point. The point is, when you can share from a genuine place, people feel connected with you. When I launched Monetize Social Membership, it's my monthly membership earlier this year, I told my audience that there's going to be hundreds of people in it, thousands of people in it. Like, that's the goal. Like, we're going to scale this where 7 figures are going to come into the business solely with that membership. And it's a low ticket membership. Like, we're not there yet, but it's going to fucking happen. Right. And when that thing does happen, guess what? Your audience is going to be like, oh my gosh, like, he or she did it. And it doesn't have to be something huge. It can be something small. Right. So think about, how can you really start to share like your goals, desires, things that you're doing with your audience. So number 4, embody, not teach. Embody, not teach. Now, this is where it's like, I always kind of contradict myself, because you want to bring self-awareness to how you're producing content. One of the main things that I talk about when it comes to content is, of course, teaching, providing value, showing that you're the expert by telling your audience what they can do to basically solve the problem they're having. But there is a different energy when you can create content through embodying versus telling someone what to do. Let me know in the chat if you guys are following along with me. Just put a 1 in the chat if this is like resonating with you right now. I see we have like 19, 20 people watching. Now, what this concept allows you to do is it takes the pressure off of you to say the right thing in order to grow your audience and build $1 million business. Because you're not teaching anybody to do anything. If you're like, sometimes when I'm scrolling through like social media, I can literally tell through a video whether someone's making money or not in their business. And the reason why I can tell is because if it's coming from an energy of, this is how you do X, Y, and Z. This is how you can do X, Y, and Z, but it's not embodied from, this is how I did X, Y, and Z. Guess what? This is something that just happened yesterday. And these are 3 lessons that I learned. It's a completely different energy. I say, if you can Google what you were talking about in your posts, in your content, it's not original. It's not embodied enough, because I guarantee if you were to Google any of like my Instagram posts that I made within the past week, you can't find that language, because I'm embodied with it. Like, you can't find it anywhere. Anyone can type in and Google, find information. They can find information on how to lose weight. They can find information on how to sign on clients. They can find information on how to get more confidence, but they cannot find information on something that you're only embodied in. That is like the biggest difference. And that is why this is all under like your brand. Going back to, you're not creating your brand, you are your brand. Okay, so embody, not teach. And then the last thing, and then we're going to get into the power of 1, is always try new things. When you are always trying new things just for you, and it doesn't even have to do anything about your business, for you personally as an individual, you always have new experiences and new opportunities to share with your audience, right? Think about it. When you watch reality TV show, when you watch series, you're always wondering what's going to happen next. You're always wondering like, oh my gosh, I can't wait until the next season. I can't wait to watch like the next episode on Sunday, because you're curious on like what's happening next in their life. Your audience thinks the same thing about you. I guarantee it. Whether you have like 10 people following you or like 10,000 people following you, your audience is thinking the exact same thing. They're like, okay, he or she did this. I wonder what they're going to do next. So this is why, like, sometimes I say, like, don't be so focused on just growing the business. Don't be so focused on just growing the business. I got to 6 figures in my business by, yes, focusing on growing the business, but at the same time, continuing to do things that expand myself as an individual. So that way I could actually show for it on social media too. Right. Because part of your brand, actually, like almost all of your brand isn't just the business, it's like you and what you're doing. Because if I saw somebody, like if I saw Sonia, you, and you were, I don't know, I'm just gonna make up something random, like you were at like a restaurant and you tried like a new dish and you post about it on social media, and like I'm a foodie, you guys know it, like I'm a foodie, I'd be like, oh, like I resonate with her because she loves food too and she likes to try new food, let me keep watching her. So subconsciously what happens is like, oh, like she likes that too, I like that too. Like, oh, she's talking about confidence, like, oh, I want to be more confident. And I think I shared this example before. If you guys have attended some of my master classes, it's like when we were kids and we're at like a playground and we're like making our first friend, we resonate with people that have like common interests with us, right? Like we can be like going down the slide and we see like somebody and we're like, oh my gosh, like you have such a cute dress on, or like I like your shoes. And then suddenly you guys become best friends because there's common interest. Same thing with business, same thing with getting clients. If you guys have common interests, aside from the product that you're selling, it is more likely people are going to continue following you. You see where I'm getting at? And like, this is something that maybe you guys are going to have to watch again, because I know I just shared a lot and we're not even at like the meat of this masterclass, but this really, really was like, I already know, I genuinely believe this is why I built a very successful, very sustainable business in a very short period of time. Like, this is why. Everything else that I'm going to share on this masterclass, that is also the reason why I built my business. Of course, you need a strategy, but like, this is it. Like, this is the brand. If it's like one thing you take away from this masterclass, it's this, and really focusing on developing this. Okay. The Unforgettable Program by Sabah. I love it. All right. So now let's get into the power of one and what I really did strategically to get to 6 figures in my business. Now, the power of one is basically one of everything in your business. One offer, one strategy, one platform, one sales system. Now, already you might be like, shit. I have like 20 different offers I'm trying to sell. I'm trying to grow on like 3 platforms. I'm trying a bajillion strategies and it's not working. I had one offer, one strategy, one platform, one sales system that I worked, I refined, and it actually got me to multi 6 figures before I started to expand. Sonia, I love hearing. I've not heard it like this before. I love it. I'm so happy. Power of one. Okay. So let's first get into one offer. So right now, take a look at your business, or even if you don't have a business right now, you're just getting started, doesn't really matter. Look at, do you have one offer? Do you have one product? And do you even know exactly what you're selling, and focus on selling like just that one offer? Like, do you know what you're selling? Comment below and let me know, everybody that's tuning in live, even if you're catching this on the replay, what is the one offer that you're selling right now? And if you're at multi 6 figures, that's okay. What is like the main core offer? If you don't know what it is that you're selling, it is going to be very hard for you to scale to 6 figures. I'll tell you that. Okay. Because it is actually very, very, very simple and very easy to scale to $10,000 with one mid to high ticket offer. That's like there too. If you want a business where you're selling low ticket offers, and usually low ticket is like a few hundred or like below $100, it is going to be a little bit more difficult, and it's going to take a longer time period for you to make 6 figures with a low ticket offer. That doesn't mean it's not possible, but how I did it was through like a mid to high ticket offer. Okay. So let me look at the chat. That was me. I had a million offers and all of that. Yeah. We want one offer. I'm selling a 4-month weight loss program. Okay, that's one offer. Amazing. Yes, now I only have one offer finally. Christopher, no idea. This is where you want to start to think about what type of offer do you want? Do you want to create a coaching program? Do you want a digital product? Do you want a course? Do you want to do a mastermind? Do you want to do one-on-one? What does that look like? Okay, I sell a branding strategy package that includes graphics, branding guide, etc. Awesome. Also, I'm selling bespoke chat GPT sessions to hold brainstorming, ebooks, business. Awesome. 90-day transformation course. Hadi. Okay, perfect. So I want all of you to zone into only selling this offer until you hit 6 figures in your business, especially if you feel extremely aligned with it. Now, what I say by that is maybe you have an offer that you've been like trying to sell, but you're like, I don't even want to sell it anymore. Come up with a new offer. Okay, because I sold, now I have an asterisk here. I sold 2 offers, but they're quote unquote the same that got me to 6 figures, multi 6 figures in my business. So I had a program that's now, I don't sell that anymore. It was called Brands That Sell Program. It was a 3-month group coaching program that like grew in price over time. So it first started off as a 6-week program. I charged $2,000 for it. And then it grew into a 3-month program for $5,000 and then a 3-month program for $6,000. So what happened was when I was selling this offer, I was selling it as this is a group coaching program. This is what it looks like. This is the price. Do you want to join? And that was the only thing I sold for probably like a year and a half, almost 2 years. Now, what started to happen was people that were reaching out, they didn't want a group setting. They wanted to work with me one-on-one. So this was maybe like 3 months into selling this offer. I had a few people saying, I want to work with you one-on-one. What does that look like? So I crafted our one-on-one offer that was basically the same program, but they got one-on-one access to me instead. So for me, I never like went out and sold my one-on-one ever. So in terms of focus, I was still only focused on selling this one core group coaching program. However, if people came to me and they wanted to work with me one-on-one, I have that offer ready to go and they can work with me, because the actual lessons, like tangibly what I was teaching them in one-on-one, it was the exact same thing in Brands That Sell. Okay. So if right now that might be happening to you, or you're like, oh, I still want like a higher ticket offer, I still want to work with people one-on-one. Like this worked really, really well for me, honestly. Like I promoted the group program, and then the people that were aligned, the people that were ready to work one-on-one, I worked with them one-on-one. Okay. So it didn't like, I didn't have the pressure of selling one-to-one because I was just selling the group. And then naturally those clients just came to me. Okay. So one offer, get clear on that, zone into that. And that is going to be like your main focus for you to get to 6 figures. Nusrat, I had a few offers now concentrating on my one-to-one coaching. Many amazing value so far. I'm so happy. Agree. Awesome. So one offer, that's the first point of the power of one offer. Number 2, one platform. How many of you guys, if you haven't hit 6 figures in your business yet, are trying to grow like 3 platforms at once? Comment below and let me know if you're doing that, or if you're like, no, Sabah, I'm on a one platform and I'm focusing. Okay. So I always say you can make very big profits with a small audience. You can. You can make big profits with a very, very small audience. Now, a lot of people don't know this, or maybe have not realized it, because I always talk about Instagram, but I actually focused on growing on Facebook first, and then I went to Instagram. Like I always posted kind of on both platforms, but like my focus of like getting clients growth was first on Facebook. So what I did on Facebook was like, I would post every single day on my feed, but then I also was growing a Facebook group community. The one you guys are in right now, this is like a new community. The one I had previously, I basically relaunched it into this group. So it was very, very simple for me to get clients through this platform because my focus was only on this platform. I always say, if you look at it as like a circle, if you have a circle in front of you, right now you have 100% focus on one platform. So every single day when you post content, when you write copy, when you have call to actions, when you have conversations, when you get clients, you are refining your skill set for that one platform. Now, if you put a line down the middle, it's no longer 100% focus, it's 50% focus and 50% focus on two platforms, because platforms are like a little bit different depending on how you want to grow and how you're trying to connect with clients. So instead of you focusing on one, getting really good at one, refining your skill sets on one, and now you have two. Focus is like off, right? So this might be something where take a look at where I always say the best platform to choose is a combination of where are your clients at and where do you want to be at? Because I believe you can like attract clients from anywhere, any platform, but you really want to like have fun while you're doing it too. Like, don't choose a platform just because you think that's where you can make the most amount of money fast and quickly. No, not really. Any platform can make you the money, can make you six figures, but you want to choose the one that really helps you and really focuses on you. So for me now, it's like I'm on numerous platforms, but for the longest time is Facebook, and then kind of like Instagram was secondary. And then it kind of flipped. Like my main one now is Instagram, then it's like Facebook, and now I'm adding in like TikTok's one, and then just like my newest one is YouTube. Okay. So comment below and let me know, yeah, which platform are you on right now? Only Instagram for me. I'm on multiple platforms. And if you're on multiple right now, that's not like a bad thing. That's okay. But like when it comes to growth, when it comes to getting clients, like focus on that one. Bulk of my sales are from Facebook. Now looking into TikTok, omnipresence is key. And yeah, that's like one thing I do want to talk about. This is where also self-awareness comes in, because when I was just on Facebook, I was still repurposing my content and posting it on Instagram. If you guys are in monetized social membership, or if you've been a client of mine, you know, I talk about primary and secondary platform. That is key, but not if like your focus is off. It takes me literally less than 5 minutes, less than 1 minute sometimes, to post the exact same thing on two platforms. But if you're spending hours on multiple platforms and you're not getting anywhere, then once again, like focus is off. Okay, so one platform. Now let's get into one strategy. So we have one offer, we have one platform, now one strategy. My strategy was very, very, very simple and very easy to duplicate every single month. And quite frankly, my strategy back then is the exact same thing I do now. There is just additions to it, okay? Because we're literally like, I'm doing a masterclass right now. This is what I'm doing. So back then, how I basically got clients was like this. I would post content with call to actions. So the content would be education, it would be valuable, it'd be storytelling, it would be experiential content, and then I had call to actions, whether it was, let me know if this is something that you desire in your life as well, and I can help you and we can have a conversation. Whether it was, this is something that I am covering in my newest program, Brands That Sell. This is something that I'm covering in my new masterclass. Comment below if you would like to join. Like very simple call to actions. I wasn't beating around the bush. People knew that I was selling something and I would have call to actions. And from there, I made money. Simple. Every single day I would post content. Until this day, every single day I post content. There is not a day I go without posting. Not a day I go without posting. If you want to make six figures in your business using social media through your brand, like you have to post every single day. And I'm saying this, I'm saying this because you can get by and make six figures without posting every single day, but it might take you a little bit longer depending on where you're at. If you don't have an audience at all, if you don't have community at all, if there's no connection, you want to take the time to build that connection. Right? Sometimes once you get consistent, once you have an audience, you can maybe get by posting like only 5 times a week. Like maybe you don't have to post on the weekends, but it's like dedication, commitment, and consistency. That is like the key thing, especially nowadays, like what we started the masterclass with. We are literally in a time where we can make 6 figures from our phone. Like, I want to reiterate that. Therefore, there's a lot of people on social media, quote unquote, selling the exact same thing that we are. So attention is key. If I'm posting every single day, you guys are going to see my stuff. I'm going to be top of mind. Even if, and this is where like, I want you guys to really listen to this. Even though I know you guys love me, there's a really big connection here. There's relationship, there's connection, there's community. I know I have an audience. I know I have connection. I know I have community. However, if I stopped posting, that connection would disappear and you'd start to go follow somebody else and that connection would be built. Doesn't matter. Like if I just stopped posting, eventually that would go away. So some people would wonder, some people would reach out, but eventually that would go away. And I want you guys to realize that. Like, yes, connection, it's there, but also consistency, also attention. So that's where it's like, you need to have the duality and you need to have like the commitment, the consistency of posting and really dedicating yourself to building this brand. And I'm also going to say, like, this doesn't take all day to do. You can make a post in 10 minutes. You can do this strategy in a few hours. Like, the second thing here is every 2 to 4 weeks, I would host a free event. So back there, when like these slides, let me go back quickly. When I would do these trainings, I would be doing them. I mean, there is a time where I did them every single week because I was really just like, I am just so fucking ready to build this audience. I was doing them like this. I was doing it every single week, free value, free value, free value. And then it was like 2 to 4 times a month, or 2 to 4 every 2 to 4 weeks, not 2 to 4 times a month, every 2 to 4 weeks. So it's maybe like 2 times a month. And it was really simple. I would do the training and then I would invite people to my offer and I would make money. I would get clients. And this is what I did every single month. Every single month. I didn't do anything else. I didn't start to go look at a complicated email sequence. I didn't start to look at what I can do on YouTube. I didn't start to look at ads. I didn't start to do some random strategy. I did this. Now, the main thing I want to say with this is though, I did not do this mindlessly. I did it very intentionally. I'm gonna say that again. I did not do this strategy mindlessly. I did it very intentionally, meaning I was not just doing the action to do the action. I was refining it as I went. Therefore, if I didn't see more people show up, if I didn't see more clients signing on, I was refining. Now, that is one of the key things and one of the key reasons why I see a lot of people stay stagnant in their business, or I don't see them growing, because they're doing the strategy, but they're half-assing it. Like, that's, to put it in other words, they're half-assing the strategy, or they're not really doing it intentionally. So what I would recommend you to do is, if you have never done this before, take the time to do it and do it for 6 months straight. If you are doing it and you're not seeing the results that you want, refine it. Are you not actually putting intention behind mapping out and actually doing promotion for the masterclass? It's not enough to post about it once and expect hundreds of people to sign up and show up. I launched this masterclass last week and I probably posted about it like 20 to 30 times. I sent out multiple emails. I talked about multiple times on my stories, on my TikTok, on my Facebook, because I know like that's what it takes for people to show up. And since you guys are here, you guys know that you got probably like 4 to 5 emails within the past 48 hours for you to actually show up. In day one, I wasn't doing that. So of course, only maybe 1 person showed up or like 2 people showed up. So refinement in this is crucial. The strategy that you want to do, you want to make sure that you're refining it so it's actually growing every single day and every single month, right? And for you, I also want to say, and this is with the entire masterclass, this is what worked for me. You might take bits and pieces of this and implement into your business, which is fine. You don't have to do exactly like what I did. For you, it might be, I do masterclasses once a month and that works perfectly for me. Amazing. Like the goal is find that one strategy that works for you that you are going to commit to doing every single month, because that is how like predictability comes in. That is how you start to make like the money that comes in every single month, so you don't dip anymore. Okay. If you guys are still following with me, put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat. I'm loving this live, I swear. I'm so happy. I just knew before getting on here, this like masterclass, I know a lot of you guys are going to rewatch and this really going to hit for a lot of you. Love that about doing it intentionally and going to relook at my ways. Yeah, it's like, if it's working, amazing. Keep refining it. If it's not working, you've been doing it over and over and over again, I guarantee you, if you do it again, it's not going to work. So like refinement and intention is very key. 222. Okay, amazing. So we did the one offer, we did the one platform, we did the one strategy. Let's look at the one sales system. So, oh, I jumped ahead of myself. Oh, so one more thing for strategy before we get into sales system is, this worked extremely well for me because over time, what happened, I'm so happy I have this slide because I would have completely forgotten to talk about this, but this is really key. This worked really well for me because over time, what happened, the same people would attend my masterclass and eventually they would turn into clients. So since I was so consistent in doing these trainings and doing these masterclass, whether it's every week or every like 2 to 4 weeks, people like would keep showing up and then eventually they'll get to a point where they're like, I'm ready to buy. I'm ready to buy. So since I personally stayed consistent with that action, guess what? As I started to build my audience, more and more and more people start to sign up for these trainings, but the same people still showed up to those trainings. Therefore, it basically created like a domino effect and kind of like a snowball effect of people signing up for my offer. So it wasn't just like one person, it would be like 3 quote unquote old people or like old clients who had attended my master classes on top of maybe 2 more people that were new. Then maybe it was like 5 old people that would attend my master classes, then like 3 more people that were new. So since I stayed consistent, it was really like just like snowballing over and over and over again. So that is why like the key of consistency, it is so crucial because as you stay consistent, more and more and more people are going to start to buy. Okay. Okay. So now let's get into the one sales process. The one sales process. I hit my first 6 figures in my business by doing sales calls. A lot of you guys know I don't do sales calls anymore for my low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket offers. Now, I'm going to be very clear and say you don't need to do them to make 6 figures. Your business, your rules. If I were to go back and like redo my entire business, I honestly don't know if I would do sales calls. I probably like won't. I probably wouldn't have. However, it did really help me build the skill of sales. It helped me build the skill of also getting to know like my audience. So for you, like just choose. If you want to do sales calls, do them. If you don't. Like that's just what I'm going to say. Now, since I did do sales calls to get to my first 6 figures, I want to show you guys what the flow was and what the process was. So once again, basically the first initial touch point was content or training. They see a piece of my content, they attend a training. And then there is the invite. So what would happen is it would basically go into conversation in DMs, whether it was they wanted to join a program, whether it was they wanted to, get the link, whether it was they wanted to get on a call. We would have the conversation. And then right here, if it was a program that or an offer that they didn't need to get on a call with me because they still had here and there, maybe low ticket offers or now I don't get on any sales calls. So I just send people the link. That's what the sales flow would be. Now, if it was booking appointments and getting on calls, it would lead into either sending an application or booking the call. So we would go back and forth, have the conversation. Usually like the conversation, the flow was, what are you struggling with? What do you need help with? What is your goal? What is the desire? This is the program. Are you interested? Cool, let's get on a call. Now, sending an application, what that really means is basically a form to get more information about the potential client. What this allows you to do is to see, are they actually a good fit for your program? And do you actually want to work with them? Quite frankly, depending on, honestly, what I would recommend now is I would do applications for like everybody that gets on a call with you, even if you're just starting out. And the reason why is because like you want to have the information so that way you can lead the call in a very powerful way. Like the last thing that you want to do is get on calls with people who just want to like pick your brain. They don't really like even have any intention from buying from you. But then also like sometimes one thing that I did early on that I don't even want to say I wish I didn't do, but it did waste a lot of time, was I would get on calls with like literally anybody. So I have probably been on like probably over 1,000 sales calls because I would get on calls with anybody who wanted to talk to me. That's how committed I was with growing my business, growing my brain. I would get on calls with anybody. So it did help because it helped me with my skills. It helped me with my sales. It helped me with communication, but it also didn't help because I wasted a lot of my time. So I would really highly encourage, if you guys are going to do the sales call route, put an application in, put a form in, so that way you can take in information prior to doing the call. Then book the call, and then you do the sales call, and that is where you sign on clients and make the money. So if you look at the sales process, there is only like 1, 2, 3, there's only 4 steps to it. Like I'm not taking them to like another training. Like I'm not having them like jump through more hoops. It's a very simple sales process. So what I want you to take a look at is, depending on what your one offer is, what does your sales flow look like? It might be exactly like this. It might be something different, right? If it is something where you don't have to do a sales call or you don't want to do a sales call, it might be content, training, conversation in DM. Maybe you still send an application, but you have another conversation, then you send a link through Messenger, and then you sign on a client. So maybe it's not through like a sales call. Okay. So this is the sales process that you really want to take a look at and very like get really clear on, because this is going to be like your pathway to 6 figures. And like once you have a simple sales system, just like stick to it. Like you don't have to start doing a webinar. You don't have to, do a complicated email sequence. Like you don't have to do any of that. Pick something and stick with that one thing. Okay. Manny, I interviewed Sabah last year and she's dropped insane value. She's a rare breed. I remember that. That was so amazing. I'm so glad you guys are loving this. Now, before we wrap up this masterclass, and I have an exciting bonus for all of you that are live for the end. Before we wrap up, and before we also go through homework and action items, because I do have homework for you guys. You guys already know you're not just going to attend this masterclass and not do anything. I want to quickly go through mindset and habits, okay? Because I will tell you, having the mindset, having the discipline, having the habits is how I built my business to 6 figures, multi 6 figures. I knew for a fucking fact I would build a 6-figure business. I just like knew. I just knew, like I didn't need to know how or when it would happen. I just knew. If you are watching this, whether you're live or on the replay, I'm speaking to you. I'm not speaking to everybody. I'm speaking to you. If you have this fire in your bones that you are meant to build, not just a 6-figure business, not just a 6-figure income, but you're meant to actually build a business that helps a lot of people, I want you to keep that in your mind as you are taking the action. I am such a firm believer that the reason why you even have that thought, you have that vision, you're here in this masterclass, is because you were meant to do it. It's not because you should do it. It's not because you want to do it. It's not because you need to do it. It is because you're meant to do it. So I stayed very, very consistent with this mentality, with my habits, by one, committing to myself and actually doing it. But I also stayed very consistent by having accountability with my mentors, with my coaches, with my peers, and with my friends, and also with my audience. Like what I said earlier, I told my audience my goals. I told them what I was gonna go do. So it was no longer just me, it was me and them. It was me and my coach. It was me and my mentor. It is very easy to let ourselves down. I say this all the time. It's very easy to lie to ourselves. It is very easy to tell us we'll do it tomorrow. But it's not as easy to tell your mentor that, to tell your coach that, to tell your audience that. So make it a point, whether it's me, whether you're in the membership, or maybe it's someone here on this live. Maybe it's someone here in this Facebook group. Connect with somebody that you can hold yourself accountable with, because I guarantee you it is going to push you so much more to go out and do the damn thing when it's just by yourself. Okay. And I also did this by like personal development daily to create really good habits. I was not the person who was able to build a 6-figure business years ago. I wasn't. I was lazy. I had so many fears. I had limiting beliefs. I said I'd do it later. I would go out and hang out with my friends instead. Like I did not have the discipline. I didn't have good habits. So I had to build those. And you guys, some of you guys know my routine. What I did to do that was like, I started to work out every single day. Start to work out twice a day. Sometimes there was a season where I worked out twice a day to really get myself disciplined. I would work on my mindset by journaling and by meditating to get my brain quiet. And even just the actions of journaling every single day, meditating every single day, that creates consistency, that creates habits. I say, if you want to be consistent in your business, be consistent somewhere else in your personal life, because how you do like one thing is how you do everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you want to stay consistent in your business, how can you first stay consistent? Is it making your bed every single morning? Is it working out every single day? Is it going on a walk every single afternoon? What can you do to create the habit, to create the discipline to actually build a successful and sustainable business? And then lastly, I told everyone around me my goals and who I would be to attain them. This is huge. This is huge. And this is where like sometimes I get like a little emotional, because I was, and I still am, that crazy girl who had that like big vision and like those dreams, like that crazy girl who would like go out and do shit that was like crazy, out of the ordinary, and people would laugh at me and they would think like I was just insane, out of my mind. But like, guess what happened? Since I told everybody that I was going to do it, everybody held me accountable, but also it gave me like the courage to actually be myself. It gave me the courage to actually be myself. Like what I said earlier, you're not creating your brand, you are your brand. You are your business. Like you have it all already. And I genuinely believe that. Like, yes, you're always learning, you're always refining, you're always doing new and different things, but you are always being more of yourself. So tell everybody what you're going to do, because also when I did that, guess what? I got opportunities. I got to speak on stages. I got to do collaborations. I got to get in front of hundreds of people. Like I got to do things that I probably would not have experienced if I didn't put my goals out there. So tell everybody, tell the world, make a post in this group. Every time I do a training, every time I do a masterclass, I always tell you guys, make a post in this group. We have close to 2,000 people in this group, 2,000 eyeballs, 2,000 opportunities. And I guarantee there are probably clients of yours in this group. How can you get more visible, and how can you really be the person to attain them? How can you be it? How can you be it? How can you be it? Okay. So before I share the bonus opportunity for you, and before we go into homework, the last thing I want to say is, whether it's your first 100K, your second, your third, your fifth, your fourth, your fifth. I want you guys to remember who the fuck you are and take aligned action. You guys already know my mantra for life every single day is I attract everything I desire because that is who the fuck I am. Always, always. Doesn't matter what I want. It doesn't matter where I'm at. It doesn't matter what I have, what I don't have. I attract it all because that is just who I am. And I guarantee if you guys embody this every single day, genuinely every single day, you repeat this to yourself every single day. If you feel doubt, you feel fear, you will reframe your mind to be someone who will actually make this a reality. Like, I don't, like, once again, I said this in the beginning of this masterclass, I don't want this to be a masterclass where it's another random masterclass, where you show up, you take notes, you get pumped up, then you don't do anything. Just imagine for a sec, if you actually took action on what you learned today. Imagine for a sec, if you did it consistently for 3 months, for 6 months, for a year, you would be living a completely different life. Solely because you took the action, you do now have the strategy, and you embody this mantra, I attract everything I desire because that is who the fuck I am. Okay. How you do one thing is how you do everything. I've always loved this phrase. Yeah, I love that mantra. So the last thing that I want to invite you guys to before I go into homework is next week, I'm hosting a 3-day live masterclass inside of Monetize Social Membership, Sold Out Services. So this 3-day live masterclass, we call it masterclass workshop, is to go through how to fully create, fully launch, and fully sell out your offers on repeat. So whether you're an online coach, you're a service provider, you're just getting started, I'm going to go through live every single day for 3 days next week, how to craft out your product, like how to come up with the messaging, knowing who to target, going through how to actually launch it, how to warm up your audience, how to actually sell it, what to post on social media, on your stories to sell out your services. And what I'm going to share is basically like what I shared through today on the masterclass, we're going to be diving deeper into, but we're actually going to be doing the work. So that way, every single month moving forward, you can literally duplicate this over and over and over again. So right now for you, if you're like, shit, like I've launched so many times and people are not buying, or I feel like I'm doing that strategies like over and over and over again, but it just like tiring, it's not working. And like, you want to know how to message your offer so people actually reach out and buy, like not just I help you lose weight or I help you get fit, I help you feel confident, but you actually want like your language to flow, just like how you probably joined this masterclass or just how you joined something else. And Nazra, I know you just joined this morning. So this is happening inside of Monetize Social Membership. So if you guys don't know what that is, it's my monthly membership for online coaches, service providers who want to learn how to grow an audience and sign on clients every single day. So it's basically like the best place to be if you want daily support from me. In that membership, you get access to like a portal with resources. Every single month, there's a different theme. So for the month of June, it's all about sold out services. Last month, it was about how to host profitable masterclasses. The month before, it was about content. So every single month, the theme rotates. But aside from the theme, you get access to a portal with resources. Then there's like a different private Facebook group community to get like access to. And then there's also a monthly Q&A call with me. So you get like all of the things in the membership. So the bonus that I do have, which I'm really, really, really excited about, is if you do join Monetize Social Membership before Friday evening, this Friday, not next Friday, this Friday, everyone new who joins now will get access to a hot seat group coaching call on Zoom after sold out services. So next week, sold out services is on Tuesday, Wednesday, on Thursday. I'm assuming on Friday, we're going to do this Zoom call. So it's not going to be through a live stream. It's going to be on Zoom with me. So you guys are going to be able to talk to me and ask me questions. So I'm going to do this after sold out services because I want you guys to like go through, do the work. So if you guys have questions about your offer or how you're going to launch on messaging and you want to like talk to me and basically me coach you live, like in the call, that is the bonus for people who join now or before Friday. So if you already joined like today, so Nazra, you would get access to this because you're here live on the class. You would get access to it. So I am going to drop my phone first, but I am going to drop the link for Monetize Social membership. So you guys can join that. And that way you can get access to sold out services. And I didn't even mention it's $49 to join. It's $49 a month. We do have a 6-month option and an annual option. If you're like, I already know I'm going to be in it longer than just a month, you guys can save money if you join for 6 months or for the year. Okay, so that is the link. If you have any questions about Monetize Social membership or sold out services or about the bonus, comment below, let me know, or send me a DM afterwards. Okay, I'm just so excited for this call because I already know as we go through the workshop next week live, you guys are going to be like doing the actions and you're going to leave that workshop like done with your offer, done with your product, done with like the launch process. Like you are going to be done and you're going to be making money and signing on clients. Like that is my goal for you. Okay. So that is that. I'm going to stop sharing this so I can see myself and you guys can see me. So the homework that I have for you guys from this masterclass, and I'm going to post it in this Facebook group community. So you guys can post your homework on the thread, or you can make a post in the Facebook group is figure out your power of one. What is your power of one? What is your one offer? What is your one platform? What is your one strategy? What is your one sales process? And go as detailed as you can. Go as detailed as you can. What is like the one offer, the one platform, the one sales process, the one strategy. And post it in the Facebook group community or the thread that I'm going to post. Okay. This is like your first step to building a 6-figure income. Nahar, I love the membership. It's literally like the best thing in the world. I'm just so in love with it. What is your one? What is your one? What is your one? And regardless of whether you're in the membership, you're joining the membership, or you're just going to be in this group and attend my free trainings, regardless of where you're at, I'm also a very firm believer that like you can go out and create your business, create your unforgettable life by just going out and taking action. You can. Okay. So whether this was one of the first master classes you attended with me or your 10th master class that you've attended with me, I just so hope there was at least one thing that you learned, one thing that you wrote down, one thing that you implement that is going to cause a ripple effect in your business and in your life to reach 6 figures. Gemma, one offer, one platform, one strategy, one sales process, right? Yes. And I'm going to post the homework in the group and I'm going to outline it so you guys can start to take action on that. Okay. So I'm so happy I could do this with you guys. This will be in the Facebook group community. So if you guys need to watch the replay, this will be under the guides section. Okay, so if you need to catch the replay, if you tuned in a little bit later, you can do that and you can watch on the replay. So whether this going to be like the last time you're going to be on my masterclass, or I see you on Mondays for Empire Creator Live Show, or see you in the membership, or see you next week in sold out services, I am so happy that I could do this masterclass for you guys. Okay. So let me know in the comments, what was like your number one takeaway? What was the breakthrough that you had for this masterclass? Comment below and let me know. And I always say, like, let me know what really hit for you. So that way I can also share it like on my stories, and I'll block out your name if you guys want me to. But like, the reason why I also say this is like, I'm so passionate to share this with a lot of people because I believe this will help a lot of people. This will help a lot of people. Like, simplicity, basic actions lead to daily transactions. Anything that we want in our life, we can attract by doing the actions to get there. Okay. So that is all. I'm going to leave it with the mantra. We attract everything and anything we desire because that is just who the fuck we are. Okay. I love you guys so much. And until next time, make sure that you guys stay unforgettable. Bye, everybody.